I used to think I was doing something smart, something revolutionary, by stacking silver instead of gold. Back then, I bought into the ridiculous mindset spread by silver stackers, the so-called poor man's gold, a mentality that somehow convinced me quantity was better than quality. What a joke. I could afford gold easily, but there I was, nodding along with these morons who swore silver would surpass gold one day. I kept fooling myself, listening to these financially illiterate airheads who were basically telling me to lie to myself for the sake of owning more shiny rocks. At some point, I realized how pathetically stupid it was, calling myself a silver stacker when I was actually serious about wealth preservation. You can't claim to care about your money while stacking something as volatile and second rate as silver. I had to snap out of that delusion fast and get real about my investments. After waking up from the silver-induced coma, I decided to reprogram my entire approach to money and wealth. I began buying gold, real gold, not the fractional stuff you see advertised for people who can't commit. I started small with 2.5 grams bars, then moved up to 10 gram, 20 grams, eventually 2 full ounces, and then 2 massive 50-gram bars. That was the game changer. It was the confidence boost I needed. Suddenly, I wasn't afraid of those premium prices anymore. Why? Because I understood value over price. I even switched to gold buffaloes over gold eagles. Sure, some people love their eagles, but let's be real. Buffaloes are superior in every way. They're beautiful, instantly recognizable, and far easier to liquidate. Eagles are just dull by comparison, and I'm not in this to collect boring coins. It's funny how these silver stackers who hate on buffaloes because of the premium can't grasp the concept that 24-karat pure gold holds more intrinsic value than their 22-karat eagles. If they had a single brain cell between them, they'd realize they can easily recoup that premium within a few weeks as gold's value continues to rise. But no, they'd rather sit on their inferior coins and cry about inflation eating them alive. Speaking of inflation, these silver stackers are like liberal dreamers, living in a fantasy land where they think silver is going to save them. Meanwhile, the reality, like a conservative with a cold slap of facts, is that silver is abundant. Too abundant. How can you not understand that when there's more of something, it's worth less? It's basic economics. Sure, India has this national project for solar panels, and silver is part of that, but that's a drop in the bucket compared to the sheer amount of silver pulled from the earth. There's a mountain of silver in circulation, and even more being recycled every year. If you had any sense, you'd see that. Look at the numbers. Over 1.7 billion ounces of silver were mined globally in 2023, while only 3,000 metric tons of gold were pulled from the ground. Yet, these silver stackers keep acting like silver scarcity is right around the corner. It's embarrassing, really. You want to know what got me to finally wake up? Inflation. Every dollar I had in silver was getting its ass kicked by inflation, and I was losing buying power faster than I could stack those little coins. I took every bit of my savings, dumped all the silver I had, and moved it straight into gold. Here's why. Let's break down the numbers. In 2019, 1 ounce of gold was $1,400. Now in 2024, it's sitting at $2,698 per ounce. If you had $25,000 in a savings account, getting that laughable 5.2% annual return from your bank, you'd end up with a whopping $31,500 after 5 years. Big deal, right? Well, factor in inflation because that's at 2.8% now, down from 8.3% in 2022. And guess what? Your precious savings are worth less. If you had taken that same $25,000 and put it into gold, you'd have 18 ounces of gold in 2019. Fast forward to 2024, and those 18 ounces are worth around $48,564. That's not a pipe dream. That's cold, hard math. Now let's take a look at your 401k while we're at it. People love to preach about diversifying your portfolio, throwing money into a 401k like it's the safest bet in the world. But here's the thing. Between inflation, the dollar devaluation, and taxes, you're not keeping as much as you think. Gold, on the other hand, is a hedge against all that. You can laugh all you want, but the numbers don't lie. Right now, in 2024, the price of gold is $2,698 an ounce, and silver, a measly $32 an ounce. You do the math. Gold isn't just beating inflation, it's curb stomping it. If you had taken that same money you pumped into your 401k and instead invested in gold 5 years ago, you'd be sitting pretty right now. Even if you'd invested in double eagles from 1933, you'd be better off than playing the long game with silver eagles. Gold stability isn't just a nice to have, it's essential. And let's be real, if I need to bug out fast, am I going to weigh myself down with bricks of silver? Absolutely not. I'll take my easily portable, high-value gold any day of the week. Once you get serious about your financial future, you'll see the silver to gold trade isn't just smart, it's inevitable. The gold to silver ratio when mining is about 8 to 1, meaning for every 8 ounces of silver, you get 1 ounce of gold. Yet the market price ratio is hovering around 85 to 1. Why? Because silver's everywhere, and it's worth next to nothing compared to gold. If you want to keep playing the game and hoping silver will magically start outperforming gold, be my guest. But you might as well wish for a pill that makes you immortal while you're at it. Meanwhile, I'll be stacking gold, watching its value rise, and laughing at the dreamers still clinging to their piles of tarnished silver.